I, Apeksha Gimire, Social Media Manager at Halt Price at IOE. Firstly, I want to welcome each of you present here. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Halt Price at IOE 2021 workshop on the topic Teaching and Presenting. The Halt Prize, known as Nobel Prize for Students, is an annual year-long competition that crowdsources ideas from undergraduate, graduate, and PhD students and university students after challenging them to solve pressing social issues. It is also the world's biggest student-centered event and crowdsourcing platform, which was started in Nepal from TU in 2016. This year, 2021 Halt Prize Challenge is Food for Good, transforming food into a vehicle for a change. It will take place at IOE on December 5. Since the initiation, Halt Prize at IOE has always come up with different ideas and strategies to make this event a grand success. And Halt Prize at IOE is pretty much success to build up the upstanding reputation. We have always known that it's easy to be topper than to keep up that position. So to maintain the persistence of our reputation, we came up with various kinds of activities. We successfully conducted 8 entrepreneurship talk series and have 100 plus teams, 5 plus workshops, 7 mentor sessions, 50 plus guests and celebrities, music evening, awareness campaign, yoga session, and weekly quizzes, and many more. And as you all know that our semi-finale event for Halt Prize was also conducted successfully where 20 teams are selected, but still we have provided you an opportunity to pitch your idea. We give you an direct wildcard entry for the finale. So please don't forget to register for the wildcard entry and also join our Discord server, and the link is provided in the chat box. Please go through it. Our team member has given their best to make this Halt Prize 2021 the best on-campus event. All the passionate team and beautiful-minded people are already here with us, and I request all of them to turn on their video. Here we have Mr. Jay Kishan Panjiar as a campus director, Mr. Vivek Mallik, our Deputy Campus Director, Mr. Sagar Shrestha, our Correspondent, Ms. Anisha Adhikari, our Media Manager, Mr. Biplab Karki, our Partnership and Outreach Manager, Mr. Angel Vishwakarma, our Graphics Manager, Ms. Suprema Shrestha, our Public Relation Manager, Mr. Nikhil Aryal, our Technical Manager, Mr. Vishal Bashal, our Marketing Manager, Ms. Tunisha Gawali, our Sponsorship Manager, and last but not the least, Ms. Devaka Bhattrai, our Event Manager. And likely campus representatives from IOE who are giving their best to make the Halt Prize on campus a grand event, who are Mr. Ravin Ghimire from Himalaya College of Engineering, Mr. Navin Joshi from Advanced College of Engineering and Management, Ms. Sivani Karna from Lalitpur Engineering College, Ms. Nivedika Pokhrel from Kantipur Engineering College, Dhapakhel, Ms. Dartishri Shrestha from Catford International College of Engineering and Management, Mr. Saugat Pandey from Thapathali Engineering Campus, Mr. Prajwal Adhikari from Chitwan Engineering Campus, Ms. Megha Maske from Kathmandu Engineering College, Mr. Rakesh Chaudhary from Janakpur Engineering College, Ms. Nitishri Upadhyay from Khupa College of Engineering, Mr. Rajan Ghimire from Sagarmatha Engineering College, and Mr. Madhusudan Upani from National College of Engineering. We have Nirajan Parajuli Sir, a network engineer from NREN, Nepal Research and Education Network. We all know that events won't be successful without sponsors and partners. So I would like to thank them for their consistent support. Here I'm going to announce you all about our sponsors. We have Paila Technology, our silver sponsor. Boklagio is our silver sponsors, and likely Zenis Cloud Academy is our silver sponsors. We have Nepal Telecom is our platinum sponsor. And our general sponsors are Task8, Egghead. And now it's time to announce our partners. We have our media partners. We have Himalaya Khabar Patrika, Kashta Mandap Television, eTech Sansar, Events NP, Tech Patro, ICT by Tech Pana, DWIT News, ICT Frame, Tech Sathi, Raftar 24, EDU Sanjal, Radio Kranti. We have Eklo as our blogging partner. Our community partner are Halt Prize 8 BZ2U, Bagmati UNESCO Club, NPCERT, Generation Impact, Thought for Food is our exclusive idea partner. We have Nauru Restaurant is our food partner. Miro Hosting is hosting partner. Center for Cybersecurity Research and Innovation is our innovation partner. We have Oranico Television is our television partner. M Security Antivirus is our mobile security partner. We have Radio Oranico is our radio partner. Daffy Wholesome Store is our shopping partner. Bala from Waste to Health is our sustainability partner. And we have OneCover and NREN, Nepal Research and Education Network is our technical partner. Now, the further session will be moderated by our Public Relation Manager, Ms. Suprema Shrestha.
Thank you so much. For us to be a successful entrepreneur, and if we are investing our time on an entrepreneurial journey, then a proper idea about pitching and presentation becomes an inseparable part. On upcoming December 5, we have the finale of Halt Prize at IOE, where each team will get 6 minutes to showcase their innovative ideas. In today's workshop, we will train our participants about how we can deliver within 6 minutes and what are the things we have to focus on and what are the things we can concern less about and many more. And all of you are here to get proper ideas about pitching and presentation, and you are familiar with the name Mansi Agarwal. She has very beautiful voice and it's Nepali time 5:42, and no one is going to forget this training session. No one is going to forget what was taught in today's session. She is Mrs. Mansi Agarwal, and she is a woman with a mission and a woman with a vision. And she is a TEDx speaker, Toadmaster, corporate trainer, communications coach, premier Udemy instructor, and an entrepreneur. Her 7 reasons to never ever visit Nepal is extremely magnificent, and her TEDx videos are fully motivational. Welcome, Mansi ma'am. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Suprema, for all those very kind words about me. Thank you so much. I'm really, really glad to be here. In fact, HALT for me has been a huge, long journey this year. This is my 4th appearance at a HALT event of any sort in different places. And I'm really glad to see all these youngsters coming up with honestly great ideas. I was judging an event a few days ago and I realized that some of the stuff you all come up with is absolutely beyond my comprehension, how good you all are. So congratulations to all of you having made it so far. Now I have a request before I start, and my request is, could everybody turn on their cameras? I want to see real people rather than random names that I don't have any kind of recognition of. So please switch on your cameras. I'm right here and I would like to see you as well. Thank you, Vivek. Yes, Naveen, Biplab, great. It's so nice to see faces and people and human beings, you know. We're looking for connection, all of us, right? Today I stepped out of my house after many months and I was so happy to see real people like humans. And okay, great, so many of you, that's fabulous. Okay, so we have 63 people here on this call and I'm really glad that you all are all participating in this. Now today's session, and for the next around 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I think, I'm going to be talking about how to pitch your idea in front of an audience, right? So what I have been told is that when you'll be pitching on the final day, you will have 6 minutes of presentation time, and then there's going to be a 4-minute question answer session. Am I correct in this understanding? Yes, am I correct? Because I just judged an event and this is how they had done it. So I'm just sort of putting that here and superimposing it. Okay, great. So in that case, it's my job to tell you how to make the most of those 6 minutes, because really that's all you have, correct? So how to be able to use those 6 minutes in a way that is effective, that brings your message to the judges, and that makes you come across as somebody who is not only extremely good at what they're talking about, but also somebody who's very, very passionate. Okay, so let's begin quickly. What kind of ideas do you have? Can some of you just share your ideas with me, just so I have an idea of what you'll be pitching about? Can some of you just share your ideas? Anyone, just unmute yourselves and tell me. Who would like to share their ideas? If there's nobody who's brave enough to do this, can I have one of the organizers please unmute themselves and just tell me what some of the ideas are, so I have an idea of how exactly the pitch would have to be put in front of the judges, and I'll be able to guide you better. So maybe Apeksha, Suprema, or Jay Kishan, because you're not the three people I think are part of the organizing committee. So if you could just tell me what kind of ideas are coming up.
Uh, So we have some ideas, like from making Ayurvedic things into, like utilizing our local products, as well as some idea to improve our supply chain of Nepal. And we have some awesome idea, like to in fact process the artificial, meats and something like that as well.
Okay, great, great. So everything, of course, is regarding food because this is food for good. I understand the theme is like that. And okay, there's a term insects into food. Great. That's something that I'm a vegetarian. I'm not really looking forward to, but I'm sure some people have an interest in that kind of a delicacy. So that should be great as well. Okay. In fact, for whoever's turning insects into food, if this is a genuine idea, Cambodia is your go-to country. Cambodia is where they have lots and lots of insects as food, and there's just so many preparations. It might be great for you to check that out. Anyhow, let me now come to the main crux of the matter. And the crux of the matter is how to actually write your pitch. Now let's understand 5 things that you need to have clearly before you start writing your pitch and before you start making your presentation. I'm going to repeat 5 things that you need to have clearly before you do that. Number 1, what is my product or what is my service? You should be able to say this in one sentence. Is that okay, everybody? Has everyone got it? What is my product or what is my service? You should be able to say this in one sentence. If this takes you more than one sentence to explain, you're getting it wrong. You are making a mistake somewhere. It is not clear in your head. Clarify whatever it is, and then you're going to make a pitch. Is that okay? So my first thing, what is my product or what is my service? You should be able to sit down with your team of 3 or 4 people or whatever it is and should be able to give me a one sentence answer on this. If you're unable to do that, you need to rework and you need to work a lot more. Is that okay? So number 1 is that. Number 2, what is my USP? Do you know what the word USP means? What does USP stand about? Do you know what USP is, students? Yes? Yes? No? I can see a few confused looks. Okay. USP is unique selling proposition or unique selling point. What is the one thing or the 2 things that makes your idea stand out from everybody else who's doing the same thing? So let's say you are talking about coming up with a new kind of breakfast cereal. Okay, what is the difference between your breakfast cereal and the breakfast cereal made by another company or the breakfast cereal that is commercially available? What are some of the things that you're giving that is going to make your breakfast cereal stand out? So what you need to understand is you should be extremely clear about your USP. You should be able to explain your USP in 1 or 2 sentences. Again, not more than that. If you are taking more than 2 sentences to express your USP, trust you me, y'all are making some mistake in the understanding. Maybe it's not so clear. And maybe you need to work a bit more to refine your idea. Is that okay, everybody? Have we understood this point, guys? Have you all got this clear? The longer you take to explain something, it just shows me that that's how complicated it is in your own mind. So that's the next thing. Number 3, who is your target group? Who are you going to be selling this product to ultimately? Who is your client? Let's say you're talking in terms of creating a new product, say food out of insects. I don't even know if that's a genuine idea or not. If it is, who are you going to be selling this to? Okay. In case you are selling this to people who are interested in trying out new delicacies, people who like non-vegetarian food, people who are very adventurous and experimental with their food, you will have to put that down in your in your target group. When you work out your target group, don't just have a random thing. My target group is everybody. The moment your target group is everybody, you're making a mistake. Start with as niche a target group as you can, because the moment you're sure about your target group, you will be able to pick out your marketing plan better as well. So let's say you've come up with some idea and you say my target group is everybody in Nepal. You are making a mistake because that means that you're spreading it too wide. You're spreading your target group too wide. That way you'll also be spreading your money and your investment too wide. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? If you have a specific target group, you will be spending your time, effort, energy, money into that specific target group and you'll be making it work. As a judge, as somebody who potentially wants to invest in your idea, I'm going to be extremely conscious about exactly how clear you are about your target group. If you're not clear about your target group, if you're not sure about what your target group is like, I'm going to be wondering whether you'll be putting some money down the drain marketing to people who are not really going to be purchasers or clients of yours. Okay, so you have to be extremely conscious about your target group. When you come up with the target group, remember there are a few questions you ask yourself. Who are they? What do they do? What is their age? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on no social media? Do they read the newspaper? Do they watch television? What kind of people are they? You want to have a profile of your person. You want to have a real profile in such great detail that I'm almost able to imagine that person. I'm almost able to give it a name. I should be able to imagine that this person is my friend, my family, whatever, and I should be able to relate to them. I want you to think about your target group in such great detail because that is going to help you understand exactly where you want to take the idea from then on. Is that okay, everybody? Have you understood this? So the next is having a clear and thorough understanding of your target group. Be very specific. Where are they from? Are they from all over Nepal? Are you going to be exporting to India? Are you going to be exporting to China? Are you going to be exporting all over the world? Are you going to target all the NRMs? Are you going to target people who are staying only in Kathmandu Valley? Are you targeting people outside the ring road? Are you targeting people in Haidora, Janakpur, whatever it is? Be extremely clear about the target group. If somebody comes and tells me, ma'am, I'm going to sell to everybody. I know they're not going to do a great job of selling to anybody because they don't know who they're selling to. Is that okay, everyone? Have you got this? This is more on the marketing side, but I'm just giving you these ideas so that you know how to write your pitch, which is what I'm going to get into in just a moment. Next, what is your marketing strategy? Be clear about this. If you are not clear about this, you will not be able to make your pitch properly because when we are judging an event, since I just judged an event 2 days ago, this is what I was thinking when I was judging. I was looking out for marketing strategy. I was looking out for how different and how novel and how how attracted I was to the strength of the idea, how I thought the idea was not like the others. So I want to understand how you're going to be marketing it. Then revenue model. This is where you have to do your research, you have to crack the numbers. You must be able to tell me all that you're going to do with the investment. So you have to talk about whatever is your investment. You've got a certain amount of money that you're sort of keeping as your investment amount, right? Are you all doing that here as well? Are you all doing that? Jai Kishan, could you tell me, are you all doing that? Yes? Okay. So what are you all going to do with the investment? Work those costs out. You don't want your judges to call you out because they are not sure about the numbers. Your risk analysis, when are you going to break even? All these things. I'm sure you all have already worked all of this out. Have you? Have you all worked all these things out, guys? Yes, have you or have you not? Show me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Something, some kind of no? Yes. Okay. Somebody says yes, so I'm going to go with yes. That's the only answer I get. Okay. So, what kind of numbers? Run through your numbers, work out your numbers, be extremely thorough and extremely sure about it. How are you going to be generating money? Do you have a subscription model? Are you going to be doing it through advertisement? Are you going to be selling to clients? Are you going to be selling to retailers? Are you going to be selling to wholesalers? Whatever it is, be sure about all these things. Is that okay? Now you have got your entire business model, which is what I've just run you through on a piece of paper. Now I want you to start understanding how you're going to write the pitch. Now let's look at the pitch as any normal speech, okay? I'm going to give you an idea of how I would write any normal speech and you can write your pitch exactly like that. A pitch would have three parts: the opening, the body, the conclusion. Very simple. Because you have only 6 minutes for your pitch, I will tell you this. Keep 30 seconds approximately or 40 seconds for your opening, 4.5 minutes for your body, and the remaining time for your conclusion. I repeat, 40 to 50 seconds for your opening, 40 seconds for your opening, 4.5 minutes for your body, and the remaining for your conclusion. If you're going to be doing this, you will not be spending too much time on the opening and you will get into the body. But your opening is important. The moment you give me an opening like, hello, I'm Mansi Agarwal and today I'm going to tell you about my brilliant idea, you have lost my interest because you're giving me exactly what I think you'll give me. But the moment you make it different, you're going to be grabbing the attention of the audience. And the moment you're able to grab the attention of the audience, the chances are that they'll spend more time in listening to you. And if they spend more time in listening to you, the chances are they're going to be more engaged with your conversation. So how do you grab the attention of the audience when you're starting out a business pitch? Number one, ask them a question. Okay? Number two, tell them a story. Tell them about something you experienced. Now, you don't have so much time. 6 minutes, honestly, is way too short for you to get into the details of a story. But if I can do a video in 7 minutes that goes viral and is seen 2.3 million times, I'm sure you can attempt it as well. So what you're going to do is try and have a short story, maybe 5 or 6 sentences, where you are talking about the plight of the farmers, or you are talking about how we can change the way nutrition is perceived in Nepal, or you're talking about how some people are obese, so this many percent of people are obese in the world, and this many percent of people are starving in the world. What can we do about it, right? So if you have an opening wherein you are saying something that grabs the attention of the audience directly, you make me feel that I should care about this. If you are able to write your opening in a way that makes me feel that this idea could potentially change something that I care strongly about, I will want to listen to you. Make me feel like I should care about it. Make me feel that this is not a problem that's happening in Mexico or Hong Kong or somewhere else. It's happening to people like you and me, and it can impact my life and your life. That's why I'm going to start caring about it. Talk about how universal this idea is. Talk about how this idea could potentially change the life of the farmer in Nepal, in a rural part of Nepal, and how it is also got a social aspect or a social entrepreneurship aspect to it. Okay. So in the opening, if you can make me feel like I should care, if you can tell me why I should care, if you can ask me a question like, if there was one thing that you could do to help, and show a picture of a child, this child who has been working for the last 60 days without any salary on his dad's farm, what would you do? Right? So maybe you're talking about agriculture, maybe you're talking about how, let's say, you know about disguised unemployment. Do you know about disguised unemployment and agriculture? Maybe you've got a way to solve that problem. Maybe you all are looking at a method to solve this problem of unpaid agricultural labor. Maybe you're doing something like that. So what you're really trying to do is you are going to try and sensitize me and make me feel that I should listen to your idea because the impact of your idea is big. Is that okay, everyone, guys? Have we got this? Have we got this? Give me a thumbs up. So the opening is where you make me feel that your idea is great because it has a huge impact and I should care about it. But don't tell me, hi, I have a great idea and this is going to change the world. Let me tell you all about it. Don't do that. Start in a way that I don't expect you to start in. Start with a photograph. Start with a story. Start with 5 questions that are going to make me think, that are going to engage me. Start with something different. Start in a way that grabs my attention. Is that okay? Next is the body. Now, the body of your entire pitch is, just give me a second, guys. Sorry, I've had a very long day. I'm already on my 12th hour of working, and I'm confident I have one more workshop and 3 more hours of work after that. Okay, so the body of your pitch really is where you are going to be sharing the main crux of the matter. What is my product? Why is it special? Whatever graphs, data, analysis that you have done about it, all this you've done when you've planned your business and your revenue model, right? Your marketing, your risk analysis. Everything has to come there, everything. If I'm missing out something, don't worry, put it all in. My problem is when you design your slides, very often I find that your slides are designed in a way that are not easy to read, not easy to understand. Please remember, a slide which is plain and has got one something in a center and one hard hitting statement has more of an impact than a slide that is full of material. Don't have too many words on your slides. Try and have photographs and graphs and anything else that is easier to see and that is easier to absorb in than a lot of words. So have slides that are simple, have slides that are not too wordy. If you've come up with an idea where you're sharing something and you've already got a prototype, you've already sort of thought about it, you've already done the basic work, and you've got some photographs to share, share that. If you've already spoken to a few clients, if you've got testimonials, if you've done something of that, share that. But please remember, the body is where everything pretty much has to come in together. Everything. What is my product? One proper slide. Try and explain it like that. Explain it properly, but it should be clear. No extra words, no extra beating around the bush, no extra not being sure. Be extremely clear about what your product is, what is your USP, who are you targeting, how are you marketing, what is different and amazing about your product, why will this product be a success in the market, how do you see it growing, how do you see the impact, how do you see the revenue, how do you see the risk analysis, everything one after the other after the other. Please remember, never have one slide with more than one of these points. Okay, so sometimes we get tempted, किन यति धेरै slide राख्ने, पाँचवटामा सकाइदिन्छु नि, स्लाइडमा माथि यो तल यो, don't do that. It's okay to have more slides as long as your slides are well made. Make sure you go through your slides, proofread your slides, make sure there are no mistakes in your slides, no spelling errors, no data errors, because people pick it all up, right? I'm also going to come back to why you should not have mistakes in your slides. I'm going to come back to that in a while. I'm going to come back when I tell you how to deliver. But you please remember, everything has to be crystal clear. What you should be thinking is this. After seeing this presentation, what are going to be the questions in the judges' minds, and answer those questions in your presentation. So your presentation is not something you prepare the night before your final or your finale. Your presentation is something you work on for 5, 7, 8 days, however many days you have. So let's say you have got, suppose yesterday, I'll tell you about this product. I'm not going to give you details because it's not fair. Somebody came up with some kind of a food product, like a cereal. Now, my concern was that the concoction that they were telling me did not sound very tasty, right? So that it did not have a great taste in my head. When I put those three things together, it wasn't something that was tasty to me. I don't think I would ever want to eat it willingly. If it was a medicine, maybe. But if somebody told me, "Look, gaira kinera 300 rupiya ko eta packet kinera tyo khao," I would not have eaten it. And that was the concern that a lot of people would have had. Now, they knew that this concern was happening, which is why when I asked them the question as the judge, they answered it beautifully. They answered it that we will put flavoring agents, we will put some kind of mix additives to make it smell better, whatever. But if they knew that this is going to be a concern that judges will have, they should have kept it in the body of your presentation. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So whatever objections you think the judges will have, you're going to answer them within the presentation. But how will you find objections? Because since the day you've come up with this brilliant idea, everyone around you is being a cheerleader. Hey, timro idea to ekdam dami cha, khatra cha, yo cha, tyo cha. Show your presentation to 3 or 4 people who don't care about you or your idea. Show it to neutral people. Show it to people who are going to be honest with you. Ask them, what problems do you find in my presentation? If you were a judge, if I was asking you for 5,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees or 5 lakh or whatever your amount is, what would your objections be about this? And answer each one of those objections within the body. So that when the judges are listening to you, they're like, damn, you question ayo, answer pani payo. You question ayo, answer pani payo. So they feel that you're extremely well prepared. You've done your background work properly. Is that okay, everyone? Have we got it? Have we got this point clearly? Yeah, I wanted to bring this up because I judged. So I know exactly how I was thinking when I was judging, right? Now, next. When you design your slides, please remember, I am not interested in an encyclopedia. I don't want to see everything on the screen. Have an 80-20 ratio, 20% on the screen, 80% you explain as you speak. I repeat, 20% on the screen, 80% you explain. Your slides should be consistent, nice looking, use decent fonts, don't use outdated fonts and त्यो PowerPoint को त्यो जुन basic template हुन्छ, don't do all of that. Make it look better. Have you all heard of this website called Canva? Canva. Yes, I can see a couple of people nodding. Go on Canva. Google pitch deck. Figure out a pitch deck. No, don't even Google it. Just go on Canva, search for pitch deck template. Get a nice pitch deck template. Customize it. Use the colors that you need to use. Get the pictures that you need to get. If you're using pictures from somewhere else, give credits. If you have your own pictures, those are always the best. But whatever you do, make sure it looks appealing and modern as well. It should look nice, okay? What I also want you to remember is be extremely careful, no typos, no data mistakes. If you have graphs, those are easier to understand rather than words and paragraphs. You know this, right? You all are students of what? Technology, correct? No, IT. No, what are you all studying? Engineering. What are all of you studying? Engineering? Am I speaking to engineers or future engineers? All different, okay. But all sort of science backgrounds or humanities? Engineering seems to be the common one here. Engineering, okay, whatever, fine. Tixa, whatever you're studying. All of you are from the science background, I'm guessing. So you are the kind of people who are anyways not used to writing 3,000 words for 7 months, correct? So don't do that on your PowerPoints either. Make it precise, make it concise. Use tables, use graphs, explain those. When you use a table or a graph, remember, use your mouse to explain the point. You know, when we're doing a PowerPoint, you know what a clicker is, right? The red kind of laser light or the clicker that people use to share where they are. Use your mouse so that the judges are not looking for where you are on your PowerPoint presentation. They know exactly what you're talking about because you hover your mouse over your screen. Okay, right now I'm trying to hover it, but you can't see it because I'm sharing nothing silly of me. The point is hover your mouse over your screen where you're talking so that the judges have a visual connection between your words and what they're seeing on the screen. Is that okay, everybody? Have we got this point? Yes or no? Have you understood this? Yes? Now, make it relatable. Don't use difficult words. If you are from engineering, don't use very difficult engineering based jargon. That's not going to be good. Finish within time. Make sure you're not exceeding your time. Try and answer all the questions that people would have as objections to your pitch. What I also want you to do is remember, practice your pitch like a mad person. Practice it 5, 10, 15, 20 times. We sometimes feel, हाँ के को practice गर्नु पर्छ सबै लेखेको हुन्छ पढ्दिनु पर्छ. It's not that. If you think you're going to read your PowerPoint presentation and get away with it, you will not. Why? 20% screenमा हुन्छ, 80% यताबाट आउँछ. That's when it's effective. That's when it makes sense. If you think that I'm going to just read out what's on the screen, you're insulting the intelligence of the judges because you know what? They know how to read as well. They can just read it. Your PowerPoint should make absolutely no sense without your explanation. That is how simple your slides should be. Your explanation, your passion, you are the one that I'm banking on, not on the numbers on the slides. Please remember that. I'm going to come to this point in a while as well. What I also want you to remember is when you're going to be displaying, please practice beautifully how you are going to time it. तपाईं slide 7 को कुरा गरिराख्नु भएको छ तर slide 8 आइरहेछ, that's not going to work. You have to synchronize it, right? When we're dancing, we make sure all our hands move at the same time. Like that, make sure that the slide, what I can see and what I can hear is moving at the same time. But remember, the slides are just like the background dancer. Salman Khan तपाईं हो, you are the main person in focus. 80% focus तपाईंमा हुनुपर्छ, 20% slide ma. You have to make your explanations so good and so beautiful. Is that okay, everybody? Next, the conclusion. So मैले opening को कुरा गरिसके, body को, now conclusion. Conclusion ma, end it on a high note. Do a quick recap. Okay, do a quick recap about what you just said, like a one sentence recap. So this is the product that could potentially change the way we perceive agricultural laborers in Nepal. Or this is the one product which will ensure nutritional sustainability for the generations to come for this country. That's fine, right? So one line or two sentences to quickly recap and then call to action. What is a call to action? A call to action is sort of the last sentence that you say that convinces the judges or convinces the person in front of you that they should take some action. So I would strongly request the judges to kindly consider this as the product that goes forward from here and is given a chance to make a change and impact the world. Okay? What you're doing is telling the judges clearly what they have to do as the next step for this product or this service or whatever you have to go to the next level. So that's a call to action. It's like an appeal. It's like telling the judges what they have to do next. Is that okay, everybody? Have you understood how this has to be written? How this has to be written? Now, how does this have to be said? Number one, don't read. Don't think you're going to read the slides or read your notes and get away with it. Practice it so many times that you need to read nothing. I've written down a few points here on a piece of paper that I'm sharing with you, but I'm not reading from the paper. You know that. I'm looking down at times just to remember all the things I have to say, but I'm not reading from the paper. I'm telling you because I know this material well. Why is it important that you know your material well? Because when judges are judging you, they're not just judging the numbers and the risk analysis on paper. That's going to take time. Your marketing strategy will take time to understand. Nobody invests within 6 minutes on anything. We are also trying to look for how confident you are, how passionate you are. You are the person I am banking on. You have to be able to say the pitch in a way that makes me feel that you are actually going to be able to make the most of this prize if you get it. Have you understood this, guys? Have you understood this or not? So the way you dress, I know you're a small thumbnail. I understand you're not that big. You are a small thumbnail. It's not in person. Had it been in person, I would have made you come and I would have made you practice and do all of that. I understand this will be online this year. That's fine. But the way you dress, the way you sit, where you are sitting, everything is important. In front of you, if you have a child running around, it's not going to look professional enough. And you don't want to do that. You want to come across as thoroughly professional, as somebody who knows exactly what they're talking about, as somebody who's passionate enough and the who has the ability to take this project to the next level. Is that okay, everybody? Have you all got what I had to say? So I've given you all my little points. I understand 1 hour may not be sufficient, but here's what I want to tell you. You have to make an impression, answer the questions of the judges even before they have them, practice as much as you can, put down as many things in the pitch. Don't use extra words for anything. Keep it as short as possible. 6 minutes is too less. Okay? Keep it as short as possible. Don't put in too many extra things, but your basic stuff should be there. Is that fine? Is that okay? Now, when judges ask you a question, right? Let's say you know the answer. This is how you say it. There's a format. Point, reason, example, point. This is the format. The judges ask you, what do you think will happen in the next 7 years? I feel in the next 7 years, this project is going to be worth this many $1 million. Reason is that, whatever reason, whatever risk analysis, whatever you've done. Example, talk about a similar product or talk about something else or talk about a hypothetical situation. Repeat your point. So when the judges ask you a question, this is how you speak. Point, reason, example, point. Is that okay, everybody? Has everyone got this? Yes? This is a great format because what happens sometimes, a judge has asked you a question. You have the answer here, but you get scared and you don't really know how to answer it. And words just come out like everywhere. This is going to give you a good way to format your thoughts. It's going to give you a good way to organize your thoughts so that you say them in a way that's most easy to understand and that's most easy for you to express, exploring every aspect. So this is my point. This is why I think this is correct. This is the example. This is my point. Point, reason, example, point. Is that okay, everyone? Have we got this? Have we got this? Yeah, this is a method to answer. Now, I am done with most of what I had to say. I'm 3 minutes above the time that was allocated to me to do that. And we have the next 16 minutes now for questions and answers because at 6:30 I have to jump into another class. So, questions and answers. Who's going to be moderating this? Is it Suprema?
Thank you so much for explaining it so nicely, ma'am. Up next, we have already been joined by our next instructor, and his name is Kesvan Bello. He is Malaysian born and IT graduate from Japan. He is in Hall Prize Global Communications team right now, and he is Movers Fellow for UNDP's Movers program, and he was in top 20 global campus directors in Hall Prize 2019-20, and he was regionals finalist in Hall Prize 2018-19. He has already joined us before an hour, and he has been listening to you so beautifully. So hello, Mr. Kesvan sir, namaste.
Hi, namaste. So I'm just going to say it here, I'm a very big fan of Nancy Agarwal. I've been following her I'm from Malaysia, but your impact reached me all the way, and I studied in Japan. So from Nepal to Japan, so I'm a very big fan of you. So it's a pleasure to be in the same room with you,
That's amazing. This is crazy because over the last few days, I've had people connecting from all over, and this honestly has taken me by surprise. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, ma'am. Thanks to both of you, ma'am and Keswan sir. Actually, these virtual events are letting us know people from all around the world. And next, so for the session will be continued by Apeksha Gimire. She is our social media manager.
Hello. Okay.
Apeksha, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You really explained well. And here I have some question for you, ma'am. Can I ask you?
Sure.
Ironic, sarcasm, and satire. These different strategies were used in your video, 7 Reasons to Never Ever Visit Nepal, which helped the video to go viral. So how can we generate such pitching ideas?
No, don't do it. You've got 6 minutes. Don't take that risk. This is too.
Yeah.
Please don't take that risk. Don't go and say, "Oh my God, I hate Hunt" or something like that. Please don't do it, guys. We're hoping a lot from you. I could take that risk, and I took that calculated risk because I knew if people started giving me abusive messages, I would just take 5 minutes to delete the video. Don't take that risk. This is too big a deal for you. Don't do it. I'm sure Kesavan will also be able to tell you a bit more about this, but please don't take this risk. Guys, my son is screaming. I think he's hurt himself. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to just check on him. He's hurt himself. I've just come from outside.
Okay.
I will get back to Sevan, sir.
Mansi ma'am has a son, and last time also he was there, and this time also like Mansi ma'am his son is like moving there, and it's a very beautiful time we are having because both of beautiful instructors have joined us. And you know what is special? Because before like sometimes we used to have an instructor, he or she used to explain and she or he used to leave, but this time it is different and both of them are joining, and I think and I hope all of us are liking it. Keswan sir, how are you liking it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so much. The funny thing is that I was called in to fill in for the last minute, and all of the things I really wanted to present, because I have been a campus director myself, and I get inspired by, Mansi Agrawal's video, especially from the, it's not the 7 reasons, it was more towards unfinished conversation. That was a really good video to watch. So I recommend you, if you have time, and watch that. And yeah, I'll pitch my part later. No problem.
Amazing. I'm just so elated that you watched Unfinished Conversations as well. Thank you so much. It's see my face, I'm so happy. Thank you, Kesavan. Okay. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Apeksha, just to continue on your question, please don't use these. You have 6 minutes and it's too big, okay? It's too big an opportunity for you. You cannot take the risk of rubbing the judges off in the wrong way. You cannot take that chance at all. Please come across as very forthcoming, as very passionate, as very energetic, and as people who genuinely care about this, people who are genuinely involved in this. Do not come across as somebody who's just doing this for fun or who's, who makes 1% mistake. For me, I've been doing this for 12 years. If I made a mistake, if people gave gullies to me, if people were angry with me, I would delete the video and forget all about it. It would take 5 days, but I would forget about it. But that was a calculated risk I took because not so much was riding on that video until then. Is that okay, everybody? Right? So please don't use this at all, Apeksha. Okay? Don't let anyone use this, guys. This is not going to work. Yeah.
Another question. When pitching your idea, how can one answer questions related to their competitions without sounding defensive?
Related to their competition, as in the same people who are going to be in the same group.
Without sounding defensive, how can we answer our question?
I would like a bit of clarification. So competition, as in, let's say I've come up with a breakfast cereal, okay? So is my competitor Kellogg's or is my competitor all the other 5 people who are pitching with me on the same day? Who is my competition?
Competitors.
So Kellogg's, right? Right? So Kellogg's or people on the same day? That's my question.
On the same day.
People on the same day. So I'm not talking about market competitors in the world as a large. I'm talking about the 5 or 6 other groups or whatever number of groups are pitching with me on the same day, right? When you're pitching a business idea, please remember Focus on your idea. You don't really need to talk about your competition, how good, bad, ugly, whatever they are. Focus on your idea and think about how you can show your own idea in the best light. If you are going to be talking anything negative about anybody else, you are putting, you're basically digging your own coffin, and you don't want to do that. When I am a judge, I do not want to hear you talk negative about anybody else. I want to hear you pitch yourself in the best light. So when I am saying something good about me, I'm not putting anybody else down. I'm not sounding defensive. I am just saying, this is who I am. This is what I bring to the table, and this is the value I can provide. Make the judges feel that you have a lot of intrinsic value. You are going to provide value, and you are going to do justice if you win from your campus or your group or whatever it is and you go forward. So please remember, what you're trying to do is you're trying to showcase your value and what value you bring to the table. That does not mean you need to pull anybody else down to showcase your value.
Ma'am, you are an international TED speaker and communication coach. I have watched your videos on YouTube and Instagram. You engage people while you talk. Your way of communication is just wow. And here, some of our participants don't have that good communication skill. So, what would you suggest to them to be a good speaker, or at least to make them capable of pitching their idea to the audience?
Okay, to be a good speaker, it's taken me 36 years of practice, 35 and a half years. Okay, I don't think you all have that kind of time before you have to pitch. To be able to pitch for those 6 minutes, I'll give you a few ideas. Okay, number one, look into the camera as you pitch. Look into the camera. So everyone knows you're on a virtual platform right now. So I have a camera here. I'm going to look at this as I pitch. I'm not going to be looking at my screen. I'm not going to be looking at my nails. I'm not going to be looking at anything else. So number one, look there. Number two, come early. Today also, this is my probably my 20th session for the week, but I still came in 2 minutes early just to test if I was visible, if everything was fine, right? I know that this is not so important, but that day you're going to come early, dress properly. Come early, check your volume, check every technical requirement that you have to. Number three, when you speak, your eye contact is extremely important, but so is your body language. What is body language? I do a lot of sessions on body language. I speak about body language. What is body language? Body language is using your body in a way that makes the other person feel you're passionate and confident. How do you do that? Couple of things. You don't really have a stage to use here, but the way you sit, how you sit is important. If behind me, if there was some nonsense happening, you would completely disregard me as a speaker, right? If I was wearing my night suit and I was sitting here, you would disregard me as a speaker. What do you keep in mind for your body language when you are doing this? Number one, hands. How you move your hands is very important. Have you seen that when I speak, I use my hands to speak? I use my hands to express myself. This showcases confidence, and this also helps to highlight points. So suppose you have to say there are three important things, or there are two USPs of my product. When you do this, what you're basically doing is you are giving the audience or the judges a visual stimuli that they are going to remember. So use your hands to express and highlight your points as you speak. That's one thing you can do in terms of body language. Now, the other thing that you could do is use your voice, right? There isn't too much you can do in terms of body language because you're pitching online. There isn't too many stories you can share because you have 6 minutes. What you can do is use your voice. How do you use your voice? You use your voice, and the three things that you can vary in a 6 minute presentation of this nature across a virtual platform is number one, stressing. Stress well, highlight and emphasize, stress on the words that are important. So let's say you want to say on the third year, we're going to make a 60% profit, right? You can say it like this: in the third year, we're going to make a 60% profit. Or you can say it like this: within the third year, we're anticipating a 60% profit. So what are the two things that were highlighted? Third year, 60% profit. The way I said it, the way I stressed. So the one thing that you could do is change your stress. The next thing that you could do is sometimes change your pitch. What is your pitch? Let's say your pitch is the highs and lows, the sharpness of your sound, the shrillness of your sound. When you are speaking, you start with a story, let's say, or you start with a few questions and you end with a call to action. Your story, if your story is about a child, if it's a sad story, if it's about improving the lives of people, if it is a serious story, it will be at a lower pitch. then the rest of your body will be slightly higher, not unnatural at all. Practice this, slightly higher. And when you're telling the people, let's make a change. Let's change the world together. I trust that the judges will understand how this idea can impact the future generations of our country, and I do trust that the judges will take this forward in the best possible way. Do you see my pitch was slightly lower? That was the conclusion. A lower pitch makes you come across as more serious, also in a way more passionate about things. So lower your pitch a bit. The other thing that you could also do is have a very pleasant tone. What is a pleasant tone? A pleasant tone is a professional tone. Figure out from your group who has the best natural tone. You don't have too much time to work on your tone now. Have a pleasant professional tone. Speak in a way that makes the judges trust you, trust who you are. It's very important that we like you as well. And I'm not saying like you because we want to be friends with you. I want to like that, I want to understand that you're professional enough to be able to do justice to your own idea. Sometimes the idea is really good, but when you see the person, the way they speak, because all we have is a 6-minute window. If I feel that you're not going to be taking this idea in the right way, I may not be able to trust you. Is that okay? So work on that. Now here's a question from Biplab. How to manage the fear of English speaking? Remember, English is just a language, right? English is just a language. If you have a great control on public speaking, English is just another medium to express yourself. However, for this competition, be slightly smart. Give it to the person who is very confident in English. So in the group, find out who will be very. Does everyone need to speak? Is there a rule that everyone has to be speaking, or can just one person pitch?
One person can speak.
Okay, if one person can cover, if one person can cover the whole topic, for this, figure out the one person who has the best tone. If this was a longer time, if you said, ma'am, I have 6 months before I pitch, I would have told you, okay, this is what you do, then that is what you do, then that is what you do. You don't have that kind of time. You're going to be pitching really soon. So what I would suggest is focus on your strengths right now, very practically. I can't tell you what you need to do if you want to get over your fear of public speaking or fear of English speaking. That's my job. That's exactly what I do. But remember, don't do that right now. Don't try and take those chances right now. Try to focus on your strengths. So the person who's great at speaking, get them to do the speaking. Get them to speak confidently. Get them to speak in the right tone. What is the right tone? The right tone is when you're somebody who's friendly and yet professional, right? So when you see me, you're possibly not scared of me because I'm not very aggressive, I'm not very authoritative, I'm just assertive and professional. And that's what you want to do. You want to come across as somebody who's friendly, who's approachable, yet somebody who's professional and somebody who should be taken seriously. Try and figure out who has the best natural tone in your voice when you're going to be doing this and get that person to speak. Is that okay, everybody? Is that okay? If you have more than one person covering it, you don't have to say, thank you so much to my teammate Biplab for now giving me the stage. Now I would like to go on. Don't do that. Don't waste time. 6 minutes is all you have. Be prepared. Don't waste even 2 seconds on stuff like this. Don't do that. Make it seamless. Okay? If all the names have to be there, because you're also going to be talking about what your team is like, what are their strengths and who they are, right? You have a little chart or something of that sort. So you have their pictures maybe, and you write their names and what their backgrounds are or something like that. When you do that, make sure you don't spend too much time, I'm very good in marketing. No, say, our team is from diverse backgrounds. This one's going to handle this. That's it. Don't spend time on all this. Spend time on talking about your USP. Okay, that's what we care about. USP, marketing plan, future prospect, growth, how good your idea is. These are the things we care about. Is that okay? Have I answered your question, Apeksha?
Here I have got a questions from Sony Pokhrel. My question is, how can we show our ideas is outstanding to others without mentioning it?
I'm sorry, what's the question? How to?
How can we show our ideas is outstanding to others without mentioning it?
No, mention it. Say, this is the USP of my idea. Mention it. Talk about why your idea is great. Why do you want to hide and be like, no, mero idea to theek hai, sir. Don't do all of that. Mention it. This is why I think this idea can revolutionize the world. This is why this idea is different. Mention it. Okay, let me tell you. Here, here's my little problem, okay? Guys, I have to go. I'm going to be late for the next one, but let me just answer this one. So here's the thing. I have a friend. So I asked him once, Roshan, what do you like? What's your hobby? He said, I like to play chess. I said, great. 2 years later, I came to know on Facebook that he's a national level chess champion. Don't do that to yourselves when you're doing the HALT competition. Don't be so modest. Talk about you. Talk about what's phenomenal about you, right? When Suprema was reading out all those wonderful things, how do you think she got it? Did she dream them up? No, I sent her that profile. If I'm going to come in as a speaker, I need to be able to establish my credibility as a speaker. To do that, I'm going to send her my profile, and I told her, find out whatever you want, use the profile. But I'm not going to say, no, mero bare ma ke bhanne, my name is Mansi Deti bhanera huncha ni. Don't do that. Don't be so modest. If you are going to talk about what's good about your idea, you need to be able to say that clearly. Don't say without mentioning it. How should we? What are we, judges or detectives? We're not going to be there detecting acha, what might be good about the idea. We need to hear it from you. You should come across as somebody who's confident enough. This is our idea. This is what is remarkable about it. These are the two things and the two reasons we believe that this is going to do well. Some of the other competitors in the market for the similar idea are doing this. However, this is our USP and this is why we're different. Is that okay? Did I answer your question, Soni? Yes, I'm getting a few questions on private chat. I'm sorry, I don't think I'll be able to cover them all right now. But did I answer your question, Apeksha?
I think she has got her answer, and thank you so much, Mansi ma'am. And I believe our participants are crystal clear on how can we pitch our idea. And actually, our Mansi ma'am is a bit
Yeah,
busy, and this.
I know, but there are two questions. Let me answer them super fast because I've just got these questions and I think they're important. Use some of the tips in my previous pitch, but I don't know. When I listen to it, I cannot figure it out. Make a video of it. If you cannot figure it out, ask two other people who you think might be good at public speaking to figure it out and tell you what's wrong with it. Don't try and rack your own brains over it right now. Tell somebody else to do it, okay? That's number one. Number two, how to look on other person eye or camera while pitching. Just look into the camera, focus your gaze on the camera, okay? Just do that. Yeah, don't look away, don't look up and down or anything, look into the camera, okay? Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry guys, I really have to just log in there. I'm 2 minutes late and I hate to be late, okay? But that's a regular class, so it's okay. I'm sure they'll understand. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody
Thank you
for
so much, ma'am. And despite your busy schedule, you have given your time. Thank you so much for this. And now we have a small token of love for you. For this, I would like to call our campus director, Mr. Jai Kishan Panjia.
Hello, Mansi ma'am.
Hi Jay, how are you?
Fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session. Like every time you are at Hall Project IOE session, like grandness of the event, just it skyrocket. And thanks again, ma'am, for taking time out of a busy schedule. I contacted you before and you said we have only 1 hour, but 1 hour was enough, I think, for the audience. And before you leave, ma'am, we have a moment of love from our Hall Project IOE team. So I hope you like it, ma'am. Nikhil?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jeff. Please send it to me. Once in a month, I share all these certificates and everything, and I would love to share this as well. Please send it to me. Thank you so
Yes, sir,
much.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and all the best to all the participants. Please do really, really well and make everyone proud. Make Kesavan proud, make me proud, make us all proud because we're really hoping that you all do a great job. Thank you so much, everybody. I really enjoyed my time with all of you. Thanks a lot. And Kesavan, thank you so much for being here in Nepal with all of us. We truly appreciate it. And yes, I would love to connect with you. So let's just connect on Facebook with us easier. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, got it.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks, guys. I'm leaving.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I see a lot of messages. Thank you so much. Bye bye. All the best, everyone. Let me know how it went. Okay. Let me know. Jay, just send me a message how they did on the final pitch day. I would love to know. Okay. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, for the session will be moderated by our Public Relation Manager, Ms. Suprema Shrestha.
Thank you so much, Sanomanse. I call her Sanomanse because she's the smallest one in our team. So I would like to thank Nepal Telecom as our platinum sponsor, Paila Technology silver sponsor, Bhok Lagyo as our silver sponsor, Guineas Cloud Academy, our silver sponsor. And guys, do you know what? The day after tomorrow, November 28th, is our wildcard entry. And if you have not registered for wildcard entry, then the deadline is tomorrow, November 27th. So please go and register for our wildcard entry, where 10 teams will be selected. And in our semi-finals, 20 teams were selected. And altogether, additionally, 30 teams will be pitching in finale. So if you have not registered, please register. The registration link for the registration link for the wildcard entry has been put into the chat box. And if you have not got it, then Mr. Bibek Malik will be keeping it in the chat box. We have Case Vansor, and once again, I would like to thank Mansi ma'am for such a wonderful session. And I will be further continuing the session with Case Vansor. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Okay, so you were a participant in 2018-19, and you were a top 20 campus director in 2019-20, and now you are in Hall Prize Global Communication team. So how was your journey? Are there some of the beautiful things you would like to share with us and you've collected in this phase from a participant to into a team now? So how would you like to share with us beautiful journeys, your experiences?
So my journey, right? Okay. Let's go on. Let's keep this session chill. I came without prepared, and everything I wanted to present, Miss Nancy just presented everything actually. But I'll add to a points later. So my name is K7. You can call me K. I'm from Malaysia. I've been in Japan for the past 5 years. Okay. So when I was a participant, it was the first campus, on campus in Japan, in my own university.
Wow.
And during that moment, right, the current the campus director only recruited three teams. Let me tell you, 3 teams, and I was one of those teams, and there were just 11 students. So the difference between me and you guys is that way back in Japan, not everyone speaks English that much. Because everyone's so shy, you want to recruit people, it's quite hard. So I actually joined Halt Price as a support, as a backup, because my friend asked me, can you come in to just speak for 6 minutes, do preparations, this and that. And I was like, okay, fine, no problem. But the fun thing is that I was told 2 weeks before the finals on the campus. So I only had 2 weeks to prepare my speech. I think of an idea, do something, prototype, find everything in complete 14 days. Actually, it's less than 14 days, but yeah, you get the idea of it. So starting from on campus, I did not win on campus. I was actually placed second, but then we applied to a general online application. Okay, from the general online application, we applied to enter regionals, and after that, there's a space between when the online application is open. So the application is usually by December 17, okay, and the regionals is March. So we got the news that we'll be able to pass the regionals in January. Okay, so we are all typical students. We don't even know what Halt Prize is. If you explain, if you participants are going to explain what Halt Prize is, it's going to turn very weird because you don't really know what Halt Prize is in the first stage, So it must be the campus director's job to maintain Halt Prize is this, Halt Prize is this, what are you going to get from Halt Prize, all right? So after finishing that journey, and do note, we only had 1 month to prepare. And once we reached the regionals round, it was Tokyo regionals. Okay, we ended up in the top 6 in the Tokyo regionals with just 1 month of preparation. Okay, top 6 out of 60 teams. 60 teams from around the world. Australia, Taiwan, India, Pakistan, Dubai, everyone. We ended up top 6. And I think The reason is we think of the way of the flow of our pitch. The first team that won on campus did not manage to place, you know. It's like a switch turnout of events in my case. So in Japan, our ranking as a university, we were the last as a team because we only recruited 3 teams that year. But out of those 3 teams, 2 teams went to regionals. So the success rate is higher than any other university. So we see that as a proud thing. And next year, I became a campus director. So me being as a participant the first time is going to like set things straight because this is all I can pitch. I can train the campus directors, but you guys already like the semi-finalists. So initially, the method of recruiting teams is different compared to countries, you know, depending on the countries itself. Like not all countries, like we have countries like campus directors, they had 400 people into one event, like a talk event, a workshop and everything. But out of those 400 people, only 3 joined Health Prize. That's a very big difference. And the thing in Japan is that most of them shy, so it's better to reach them one-to-one. And I know about this. I did it correctly the second time, and yeah, I become a top 20 campus director. And top 20 campus director, right? To be honest, I didn't expect myself to be chosen as top 20 campus director. That is way off my I had never set my mind up there. But what I did was that because I did not do like recruiting webinars or like doing webinars, recruiting mentors. My team and I personally pitched the participants themselves as all 20 participants, all 20 teams, you know. So that was something that's quite private, and it's a joy for me because my job as a campus director is to bring out the best in people, you know. And I don't really want the light to be shined to myself. It just happens that way. And I did not recruit any sponsors, 0 sponsors, 0 everything. So your campus director, Jay, is actually doing a very good job. Yeah, and out of those, the reason is that if you're below, the thing with Health Prize is that if you're below the minimum criteria, so the minimum criteria for your year is 10. My year was 15, okay? So if it's below 10, even the winning team is not guaranteed to enter the regionals, okay? You need to know about that. If it's more than 10, the winning team is guaranteed, but the second placing until the end is not guaranteed. So it depends on the quality of your idea, okay? And because of the quality of your idea, Health Prize will be making this choice. All the campus director can do is that push you guys to apply for the general online application, and that's about it. That is his job. It's done. But how you expand your idea, what are the potentials of your idea to become big, that is all up to you guys. All right. So that played a very big role in my year as a campus director because out of 20 teams, 4 teams, including the winning team, went through regionals for my university. So that is usually university is like 1 or 2 teams, but mine is like 4. That was a lot. What else? Yeah, and I got offered to work in Health Prize. Yeah, I think that's about it. Because I'm pretty good in languages, so I am working under communications to help other campus directors this year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jay keeps telling us about you that you review our work in V41 and you're liking it and you're updated with our work.
No, that is my job. That is my job to see that you're progressing well, you know.
Yeah, and your journey from a participant to a communication team now is really inspiring. And the first on-campus event in your country, that is like, it's important to take initiative, right? And that's what I found the most interesting in your journey. Like you initiated it yourself. Like, thank you so much. I mean, that's really beautiful. And While okay, let's move to some idea pitching and presentation. While planning for target audiences, we have to divide our market into segments and try not to make it as large as possible. But with the theme food for good, the problems has been faced by the people globally. What is the best way to make it more specific so that our pitch will be more realistic?
So until now, I have not heard any of your ideas. I have not seen anything. But if I were to advise my own campus or my own teams, you need to start locally. Okay, you're going to find something that you think is so unique that people ignore. You know, like for example, we have a situation in Malaysia where we tie dye. Speaking about last year's theme, which is environment, they had like a tie dye using oil. So this oil will be flown to the river and everything. Okay, and there's a criteria like how are you going to reach 10 million in the span of 10 years? You can always like relate it to another country that's using the similar kind of approach. That is how you expand your market actually. So you can always start locally, something unique to yourself, and you can use that as a platform to show off in an international platform. You know, that is the best way on how to expand your market actually.
Yeah, like we heard that a lot of business person owners make mistake because they want to target it to like an entire market, but it is very important for us to separate our like market target. Let's make it as a small and let's not make mistake.
No,
And
if you're going to target everything, right, you're putting too much on the plate. It will be very hard for you to handle. You know.
yeah, and we should not get afraid of losing few peoples because brand that targets everyone connects with no one, and it is a very famous saying I have heard somewhere. And Mansi ma'am told so many things about pitching today, and and according to her, like a high pitch or pitch should be a Twitter pitch should contain no jargon and should be as short as possible. So, what are the some of the things in which we should consider while making it short and not miss the main part in our finale?
I guess it's in terms of how you express your idea, to be honest. So to me what makes a very good pitch, okay, what makes a very good pitch is knowing how to pull the strings of emotions. Okay, so I can share some things that I can add towards what Miss Nancy has told just now. You have, like she said, you have to start your pitch with a very strong statement. All right, after starting strong, you have to go like stronger until you reach a climax. And then when you like once you reach to the climax, you have to go with a bang. All right, you have to like give a solid conclusion of why they think they should choose you. I'll come back to the question later, or maybe I'll already answer the question. But in terms of like pitching, you got to say things that are believable and at least make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't especially the usage of numbers. You cannot say that in the span of 5 years you're going to reach like 1 billion 1 billion consumers or get $1 billion or anything. That is all out of context already. And this is the thing that I always, because I was handling accelerator for this year also, and I'm just sharing about a few points. Never use the terms or quotes like no one has done this or we have no competition. There is surely competition. All right, you need to keep in mind that even though how original you are, please don't use those kind of statements, because there are possibilities, right, that when you say those statements, the judges, they might have someone in their head thinking like, oh, this fellow is doing this job, this fellow is doing the similar job, and it totally throws their attention off your slides and off your pitch. All right, so stray away from that. And I think she mentioned like prevent typos and errors on your slide, because you need to build on impression that you are complete in every single criteria. If there is a typo on your slide, there's a saying which is in a business world: if you can't do a presentation, how can you run or how can you manage your own company? And do note that even though with you being a CEO of your own startup and everything, you are actually a salesman. To be really honest, you are actually a salesman. You always need to brush up on your communication skills. You need to pitch all the time. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. And to include your entire business plan in 140 alphabets is really hard. I mean, it's really difficult, and that needs a lot of brain works, a lot of brainstorming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in our upcoming December 5, we have finale of Halt Rise at IOE, and each teams will be given 6 minutes to pitch and present their innovative ideas. And sir, you have given presentation in regional. You were a regional finalist, and a lot of participants has been asking us that, is it important to make slides while making presentation? So is making presentations important? Or sorry, making slides important, or we should we should pitch our presentation without making slides, because as a whole 80% of the things are important what we speak, and only 20% should be mentioned on the slides. So like is it important to make presentation slides, or should we go and just speak?
I think it's a little bit of both, because your slides are your proof. All right, you need to know that your slides are your proof, but it depends on how your slides are set. So I can give you some tips that I can share from my perspective. But when you start right, this will be a bit long, but when you start right, it's better to have a clean slide, like not much info or information that's going to cramp up in their head. You need to think. This is a bit rude, but you need to think the judges are stupid. All right, they don't know anything. They don't know anything. The moment they saw your slides, it's their first time listening about it. Okay, that will contradict with what they know, but that is all Q&A sessions. But if you want to go present in a slide, if you're going to put like very big words, like very messy, obviously I'll be turned off. I won't even look at your slides. I won't even look at you, and I'll be like, okay, this is bad slide. So my suggestion is that have when you start, have like a clean slide, and if you have your own logo, right, put a damn logo in the middle, just one logo in the middle, and you begin to talk from there. All right, put your team name and your logo, and I suggest you creating a logo, because after this round and probably in the future round, you're still going to use a logo. You need something to represent your own company. Okay, you can start off with like giving a very strong statement saying that. Have a tagline like "Food for good," something, and just sum up in a 10 seconds or something. So that is like your first burst, and after that you need to go up. Never use never use bullets. Never use like lengthy bullets with lengthy words. Just put like a heading, or better use images. Because people tend to remember the images, the colors of it, and what you're trying to present. And I would not recommend using animation, to be honest. Do not do animation, okay? Maybe slide transitions is fine. You want to move from one slide to another slide, but please don't use animation. I'm not sure, because you'll be pitching online. But when I was pitching on site, there was a team who was doing the Q&A, had a lot of slides, used a lot of animation, took about 2 minutes to go back to what the first slide, what the judges wanted. So they lost like 2 minutes of the Q&A session already. And I don't know why. Actually, I know why, but because of that animation thing. So avoid using animations, and at some point, animations might stuck. You know, when you're especially when you're pitching online, there might be technical issues when you're not moving, and the slides may freeze. So be careful about that. Don't use like GIF. Don't use, if you want to use meme, you can use meme, no problem. But be careful with your slides, okay? I guess the rest, Ms. Mansi just covered it on giving your products. As a judge yourself, when you're beginning, okay, go sidetrack a bit. Show your management team and how you guys work. That is what I want to know. Especially for the first criteria is team. Why you need the team of criteria is that are you diverse enough to tackle all of these problems? What makes each of you special? Okay, it's better to have like a lot of fields joining in together. That's not a problem, but you need to portray what makes you feel special. And the next slide is like I want to know your products, I want to know your service and how it works. That's all. Don't explain the process of making your product. Okay, let's say you want to make an application. You want to use an application. Don't go off like saying, I use like programming to do this, to do that, to do this. No judges wanted to do that. If you're going to talk about an application, show them the application, not the process of making the application. And competition. Okay, everyone has competition. Explain who your competition is and what they do. Do your research. And if there's no competition, what are your cons? What are your disadvantages? If you're able to recognize your disadvantages, you can still propose the suggestions even though you're not sure. All right? Or during question and feedback, you can still have like the judges one-to-one kind of commenting about how you're going to expand your business. You need to know all about that. And then profit, how you're going to gain money, how much good are you going to make. And another, this year is quite interesting. There's a criteria called traction. We did not have this criteria up to like last year. They included this year. So basically traction is simple. What have you done with the project? Where have you expanded it? Have you collected feedback? How many people of your target, how many of your target people are going to use that? Okay. And in the on campus, it is idea stage, no problem. But if you really want to win regionals, you have to have a prototype. You have to have a prototype. Up until now, no winners. No winners is without a prototype in any single regionals. That's a fun fact I'm telling you. What else? And how this is interesting to insert also. How getting $1 million can help you with your business. Because we always say the different thing. Okay? We always say like, I deserve $1 million because my idea is good. But how are you going to prove that getting $1 million is going to support your business? So you need to do a time frame of that if possible. Most judges, it depends on the judges on your own campus, but if it's regional, it's always like that. They're going to ask quite detailed questions. And you just continue on talking about it, talking about the impacts and everything. And then when doing the conclusion, do what you did like in the beginning, you know, just because it's like up, 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 and then you bring them back with one logo, all right, with your logo and a headline. And then you try to convince the judge why you are the team to win.
Oh, that is really beautiful. And how can we engage more participants in that presentation?
How can you engage more participants in terms of
Like
getting
how
more
can
recruits?
we make it more engaging and interesting? Like you said, we can include some of logos like Food for Good. And another beautiful logo I have is leading a generation to change the world. This Hall Prize, like beautiful slogan. And it has been said that telling stories is beautiful part. And what are those kind of stories that we can add in our presentation? And is that better? in this 6-minute pitching that we add stories in our presentation, because in internet and everywhere we go and search, they tell us to add stories, connect with stories. Then it is better that we add some of the stories in our presentation in this finale.
Usually stories that you are close with, stories that you can relate, that only you can answer, that is best, because it needs to come something that you have experienced it, or something you have used the product before, something you have seen, that's why traction is good. This is all traction. What research have you been doing? If you're going to solve let's say you have papers, food wrapped in papers or plastic bags or anything, you need to do your research, how these things might affect other people. And if you can tell from your point of view, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and this is what's happening with the world. But you have to think of how unique that idea should be. All right, you don't put it so general. You need to come up what has impacted you personally on your life itself.
So that means we have to add story, and that should connect with the problem of the food, like what is happening in the world, that problem. And if we are able to connect that problem with our presentation, then that is going to be beautiful.
Definitely. It depends on what your pitch is. I'm not sure whether you guys have watched it, but have you watched the Accelerator pitches?
I'm sorry, I have not.
All right. I'll send the campus director the link later, so you can just send it to you guys. It happened last week, and it's a summary of it's just a 4-minute pitch for the 11 teams that has been chosen, and you can always look at how they begin their story. There's a story that says it's a group from Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bit dirty, but it's using your own human feces, and making fertilizer. And she had a very good background story of how toilet is not accessible in Nigeria, so you have to do it behind the bush, and she got bitten. So those kind of stories, it's emotional play, because we are taking toilet for granted. All right, everything we take for granted. So you need to think of a different kind of things, especially when it's Nepal, something that is meaningful to you but not well known in other countries. So you can say that I'm going to use this as a platform to make whatever that you're trying to promote in Nepal, whatever your idea is, as an international platform.
Okay, that is really good. And actually, we have already explained our judging criteria to our participants. And this year's Food for Good theme is different, and it is different for everyone. And I've heard that it's getting hard for them to connect this theme. And so what are the important things we have to consider while making our presentation, just focusing on the theme Food for Good?
To be honest, the Food for Good is very general. The theme itself is very general. You can actually connect it with literally anything. Like Ms. Mente has said, right? Agriculture. Agriculture is like food security. If the farmers aren't getting education about sustainable farming, that is already a sustainability on their education. So you can increase the education. And then if they are not eating well, it's going for a zero hunger, you can always make sure the farmers are eating well. You can start something to ensure the farmers are eating well. And if you have no food to grow, you can always grow in cities, and hence the engineering part comes in. So it is quite general, but my advice is, the badges, the impact badges, they have there's a category in the challenge book, or in the judges criteria, or anything. They are mentioning impact badges like excess food, or the variety. I think it was 8 badges altogether, and it is better to relate all of those ideas with those badges. So if you can add more badges towards your idea, you don't really have to fit all, but if you can cover all, that is what the judge is actually looking for. That point is where you start your own idea actually. What you need to solve, you don't choose a very big problem. Choose something, like I keep on saying, choose something small, something in your local, and how are you going to expand it only.
Yeah, we have been facing a lot of problems in our locals as well. So you talked about focusing on the local problems. So would you mind giving some of the examples you are like facing in your locally problems? Could you mind giving some of the examples?
Examples, right? I can tell you, we have food loss in Malaysia. Okay, we are actually discarding food which is edible. That is one, and the thing in Malaysia is that, fruits and vegetables, if they are looking ugly, they can't really sell in the supermarket. Those kind of things. What you can do is that, and it's a very common thing in Malaysia. And even though it's edible, they still throw it away. So what you can do is that you can start a business by collecting all of this like vegetables, like the unattractive vegetables, unattractive fruits, and you can make a shake. As simple as that. Okay. So when you start a shake, like the vegetable shake or any juice or anything, you can relate it to people who are working in the morning, who are not taking their breakfast, who are not eating healthily. Hence, you see, you can relate it to another problem. You're actually solving in a different chance. And people who, especially students in the morning, if you're going to catch a bus early in the morning, you have to wake up early in the morning. You have no time to eat. So you can place like a small stall besides the bus stand or anything, and then you can always sell it to these kind of people. And that's how you do business. The thing with COVID and the thing with this year's challenge is that obviously it's a challenge, but it's a blessing in disguise that we are taking things for granted. Like this year, it's not about getting the things you want. It's appreciating the things you already have. This year. So make use of the things in your own environment and how you can extend it. That is sustainable method for me though, in my own experience.
Yeah, like that is really a good example. Like just you take some of the ugly fruits that are not being taken by the customers and make it juice or something and sell it. That's an entrepreneur's mind. Oh my God, that is really good. Okay. So while the team give presentation, some start with their team introduction, like my name is Suprema, and I have a team member this, I have a team member this, and some start with the problem statement, like this is the problem statement, okay? And as I've already said that you're more experienced, you've given presentation in regional. Ma'am told that start your presentation with something different than the team. So how would you like to answer it in a better way with some sort of examples? The advantage of starting with your team, with something rather than team, or disadvantage of starting your presentation with the team? Because when you hear someone's presentation, 5 seconds is enough for the participants or for the judge to decide whether they are interested in your presentation or not. So how would you like to take this problem, or let's say take this thing?
It's like I said before, it's creating your own phrase. So you can say that, hi, we are what team, and we are ready to ... So if you're going to make those kind of statements, it will cause like a question mark of, oh, what is this team going to do? And if you're going to start with like, hi, my name is Christopher and I'm from team something. The difference is that it is still a presentation. No wrong about that. But it feels like a high school presentation. You're going to go from like a lab presentation, if it's a university presentation, because you need to know, you need to attract the attention of people, and that's about it. So to attract attention of people, you need to go like something strong, in my regional time, a lot of methods are doing this. A lot of people are doing this, and I'm going to share it to you. When they start a conversation, when they start the presentation, they always say like, okay, this is Raja. Okay, Raja is a boy from this kind of slum area, and he's experiencing this because of you guys. Because of you guys. So it was actually blaming the participants, like the trash problems and everything. This is for like trash problems. So, but we team something have come up a way to solve this problem, and then they enter their pitch itself. A lot of people are using that kind of method of telling stories of other people instead of stories of them. They put in like a random baby picture or random boy picture, and then they'll be like, "This is Raja," and then they start their presentation. So you can always go there. It doesn't have to be 100% truth, But what is true is that when the judges ask you where you met Raja, you have to like make sure you're prepared for that story and how you reach to these kind of people. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
That is interesting, actually. And you know what? In our semi-finals, it took place on November 21, and our judges were Annie Toyang Drolna, UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador of Nepal, Alpha Senon, he is a social entrepreneur of the year and founder at Y Farm, and engineer Aditya Raj, he is a founder and CEO at Digital Nepal, and they were the judges of our semi-finals, in which 20 teams were selected. And now, the day after tomorrow, that is November 28th, it is our wild card. And again, 10 teams will be selected. While more than 39 teams were pitching in our semi-finals, some of them were like, okay, I am Suprema. Suppose I am Suprema. Okay, sorry, I am Suprema. And I started like, okay, hello, my name is Suprema, and this is like, I am going to present here. And okay, I present some of the 2-3 slides, and now I call someone, it's called Jai Kisan. Okay, now I pass things off to Jai Kisan, and he will be explaining further slides. And now like 10 to 20 seconds is lost there. So this is the only thing I see, that only time has been lost in these certain gaps. And what are the further things and attention, attraction, what would you like to add more further problems that can be caused because of this 2-3 people presenting for 3 minutes? What are more of its disadvantages that you can like see?
2-3 people, right? I had a situation in my regionals where there's a very good team, okay, and they have a misconception that everyone needs to speak. So if one person, possibly during the training rounds, no problem, during the rehearsals, no problem, but you're going to be nervous on the day itself. So if one person gets so nervous and you keep on passing it to other people, your ending wouldn't be an ending. You would cut halfway. So you have to be careful with it. If you can't speak well, it's okay. House price doesn't require you to speak. You can always ask one person to go cover up the whole 6 minutes, but you'll be losing mark on the team because the criteria team, to score a 5 full point criteria, all of you must be like ready to pitch in, and that's the transition itself. You don't really have to like say that okay now after Suprema, okay, now I'm going to take over. You don't really have to say those kind of things. You're going to waste time. Yeah. You just jump into the conversation itself. Once Suprema is done with the part, you go ahead. It saves money. Saves time and money also, to be honest.
Yeah, it saves both.
It saves both. It saves energy and all things. But time your speech. That is very important. The faster you talk, because you get nervous. If you get nervous, the faster you talk, it just shows you that you're not prepared. So you have to be like, how I'm speaking right now. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and this is make sure it's a relaxed kind of tone. Because if the judges can't understand what you're saying, or you're going to speak so fast, you're going to leave a lot of time. Okay, let's say you finish quite fast. The judges will be like, what's happening with the team? Is the team ready? The team is obviously nervous. A lot of ideas. Even though you're fully prepared and you're going so fast, you're just losing marks on that. And if going too slow, you're going to lose your marks on that too. Make sure you time your time your speech, and when the allocation is 6 minutes, try to finish it in 5 minutes 50 or 5 minutes 55. Let's say a 5 minutes 50 is the best, because if one person gets so nervous, there's a backup time for you to finish your speech, your pitch.
Yeah, you talked about the speed, the voice, like you should take it slow, or don't take it too fast, or don't take it too slow. And I want to talk about tones over here. While I am explaining something important, I will raise my voice, like when I'm announcing something important. At this, suppose I'm announcing orange and lemon. If lemon is more important, I will announce lemon. Okay. And if orange is more important, I will announce orange. So while presenting, we have to fluctuate our tones, like from low pitch to high pitch. And we have to raise our tone for some important parts. And in this pitching session, 6 minutes of pitching session, how important is it to raise your voice, is to raise your tones at some part, and what are those kind of parts, what are those kinds of slides we have to raise our tones? Would you mind explaining it from your perspective?
When you want to start a story, right, you always start like, okay, this is this, this is this, and this is this. So when you want to highlight something, you'll be like, this is the problem. That's how you change your tone. And usually changing tones, you're going for higher, it's to highlight what you want to highlight. If you're going to talk about money, you need to highlight on the business part. This is the plan. This is the plan for something, 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 And if you're going to talk about, we will be able to manage this kind of impact, we will make a lot of different impacts, and you need to specify what kind of impacts and how are you going to show the impacts, and another thing, avoid using the word maybe. Never ever use the maybe, because maybe just shows you that you are not ready, you're not sure about your idea. Just say we will, or rather use we will. And I'm not sure whether if you have included in your slides though, but after regionals, it's better to have like each of your business to have a partner. So during the regional stage, during the on-campus stage, you can say that these are our proposed partners. So at least you can say that after this round, we are going to, if we pass on campus and we're going to regionals, we're going to reach out to these partners. There's no harm saying that. That is just traction, of whether you try or not. That just symbolizes traction. So adding to like, who are your proposed partner, and you can do the partnership, because this is all business. This is all for good, for-profit business. And in social entrepreneurship, partners are very important. So you need to highlight who are your main partners.
Okay, so like it is important, and we have this December, we have finale, and like I think they have got a lot of things from you and Mansi ma'am, and I would like to ask our audiences, if you have any questions, then please put it in the live chat box. I will be taking your question answers, and Keswan sir will be answering your questions. And in this 2 hours long session, we discussed so many things, Keswan sir. So would you mind explaining some of the things maybe we have missed in today's session, and maybe you want to add it furthermore in today's session?
Into this session, so it's like I said, it's going to be to be really honest, I'm going to keep it to you straightforward. Okay, I've talked to a lot of young entrepreneurs. So I'm actually not only working with Hub Price with youth, I'm actually working under UNDP in Asia and South Pacific, and I'm working with especially youth and social entrepreneurship. And most of their common response is to become a boss or a CEO. Why are you joining? The question would be like, why are you joining? Why are you taking part in social entrepreneurship? So most of the answers would be they want to become their own boss, their own CEOs, or to get better paid, to get like more freedom. But you should remember that you're going to have more bosses if you're considering who your clients are, who your teams are, and who your partners. Even with the title of entrepreneur or CEO, like I said before, you are really just a salesman. Okay, so you have to be able to pitch your idea to everyone, your service, your product, to everyone all the time. Your energy should be into how you manage your product, okay? And speaking about profit, in reality, I'm not going to lie to you, in reality, only a fraction of startups survive more than 5 years. And most of your ideas right now, today, do not become a fortune. I'm not going to discourage you, but that is the reality of it. So the question here is, are you truly ready to become an entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur? How to what extent that you stick to your idea? Okay, so that's the thing that the judges would like to know also, and how ready you are, especially in the criteria team. This is not only, they're going to use the same criteria until the end. There's no change. So if you know how to tell stories, go ahead and continue that path. Once you reach, let's say if you reach accelerator, I'm really hoping that there'll be representatives from Nepal or somewhere on this region, or because we had representatives from India and like Indonesia, all the common places. But I want someone, a representative, you know. I'll be able to pitch. I'll be able to help you expand your ideas. No problem. Just reach out to me on social media. I can drop it on. I'll just post it on the chat box.
Yeah, please, sir. And will we know that what you are doing in Halt Price as a communication team in that Facebook? Because we want to get updated with what you are doing as a team, communication team.
Communication team. What I've been doing is that. Let me summarize it. Basically, I reply to your emails. So if you have problems or anything, I'm the one who be in the front line. And together with Bere, and she's from Mexico, and Rada, she's from Tunisia. So I'm in charge of the Asia region, and usually my working time is Malaysian time, 10 a.m. and until 7 p.m. So I think you guys are like 7 p.m. right now, right? 7:38, is it?
7:23 p.m.
7:23. Okay, 7:23. I'm like 9:38 right now p.m. So there's a time difference there, but it's okay if you can reach out to me. But I'll try to reply as fast as I can. I manage the social media also, so whatever pictures or what I post, you tag Halt Price, at Mayor of Impact. I'll be resharing them if they fit the criteria, of course. We have our own criteria. There was a question: is it too dark to start something like death toll to a problem, and how you could have reduced it? Yeah. It plays part in storytelling, because like I said, you really need to know how to pull the judges into like your own pitch. So if you're very good in like having a sad story, go for it. The judges will keep on continuing with because the idea is that you put the judges in a very low place first, so that they won't expect a lot from you. You only can go up. That is how you play with your pitch. That is a lot of people. That is how a lot of people are pitching these days. So like I said, if you're going to start with a very big kind of tone, like we are from somewhere and this is our phrase, this is how we're going to solve this kind of problem, this already sets the judge into like a small peak, you know. And that's how you build the peak up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he or she don't have a name. It's been kept like unknown over here. We can't know his name. And I would like to request our participants, if you have any questions, serious questions, then please put it in the chat box, because Keswan sir is here to answer you, and he won't be joining us time and again. And maybe he will reply you, but still, please, if you have any questions, then ask. It is going to help you a lot in your finale, because he's also participated in regionals and he's the regional finalist. So if you have any questions, then please. Talked about communication teams, and I have found so many similar things about Mr. Jai Kishan Panjiar and you. Both of you were a participant before you were a campus director, and you became a campus director. And so I have a question. Sorry, I'm focusing in the chat box. Every one of us pitch ideas wishing to get proper recognition, and our ideas get recognized if we win the competition or get investors' attention. So I want to ask you about the ways on how to pitch ideas related to judges' mind and how to grab investors' attention, because investors' attention is very important to sustain our business.
Try to pattern your ideas. That's the best recommendation I can tell. Because this is an inside thing, but during the accelerator stage, right? Like speaking about last year's team, environmental, there are 3 teams from different regionals who have proposed in making a bicycle using bamboo. So, so it depends on which person has already got the patent, and that's the idea itself, you know. So if you're very confident in your idea, you can still you can apply for a patent, try to get it as fast as you can, and from patent, there's no place of going other than going up, or how you can improve your own patent, how you can always improve your own prototype, and that is why you need to reach out to the judges. You need to reach out to the judges also, like especially. Are the judges different from the semi-finals you had previously, or is it the same judge?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had 3 judges in our semi-finals, and our final judge will be different from semi-finals. And yes, additional, and our wild card judges are also different. We have different judges for our finale, for wild card, and our semi-finals as well. And our wild card entry will be on November 28th. And if you have not registered, then please register. Registration link is provided in the chat box. And we have almost came to an end, and it's.
Wait, just one final thing.
Sir,
all right. Reach out to the judges, ask for their feedbacks. That's the only thing you can do. What went wrong and how you can improve your ideas. Just reach out to the previous judges. Try to get like a partnership or mentorship with those judges as a team. That's the best. And because of the judges themselves, they can even use their connections. You know how important this is? They can use their connections to find partners who can invest in your ideas. So make sure you're on a good term with the judges.
Yeah, that is important. I wish our participants could go to the judges and ask, sir, what is the further things I can add in my presentation? What are the further things I could have added in my ideas? So participants, if you have connection with your judges, as sir, please go and message them or email them, because using social media like Facebook and Instagram is not convenient, but you can mail them. You can easily find their email address and you can mail them. I was a participant of this, and now I have the question, ma'am, I am like from this team, so would you mind explaining like what were my flaws in my presentation? And I will move to next question from Sony Pokhrel. How long should our project's analysis be? 5 years or 10 years during on-campus pitch and regionals?
Simple. Keep it 10 years. Because you'll be clear. The criteria is that another advice is that you need to plan your presentations, your pitch based on the judges' criteria. Okay. I'm not sure if Jai has doing this, but this is what I did with my own team. You know, you have like a judging criteria, the briefs and everything. For every single brief, you know, did you do it for the participants also?
We have
All
done.
right.
We have also
All right.
done the Hall Prize challenge, and we also trained them.
Use the judges because there's a thing for participants, campus director, and there's a thing for judges. Use make sure you show them the judges also, because there's no loss in knowing those kind of things. There are the additional criteria into the scoreboard. Try to pitch your idea following those criteria. And the final criteria is that how are you going to reach 10 million in the span of 10 years. So analysis, you can start by stage. In the stage of 3 years, 5 years, and finally 10 years. What are you expecting? Where are you going to expand your business to? And you need to include all of this kind of information.
Yeah, you said about our judges and take suggestions from judges, and I have important thing to say here. Otherwise, I would have missed if you wouldn't have explained about judges. We have advisors from different domains, 8 advisors from different domains, and our mentorship session will start from this Sunday. We have beautiful entrepreneurs like from different domains, mentors, and it will start from this Sunday. And our participants will be getting mentorship session from Discord. And if you have not joined our Discord community, then please join our Discord community. And it is going to be really beautiful for our participants to get mentorship session. I just read some of those mentors biodata. Some of them were CEOs, some of them were IT graduates, and entrepreneur from different food domains. How exciting it is going to be for our participants to get knowledge from such kind of mentors. Oh my god, I cannot even explain how exciting it is going to be, sir. That is really beautiful. And the session with you was and is still going beautiful. I wish I could have continued this for further more hours, like 1 to 2 hours, because with your insights, everyone can get a lot of success in their life. And last question I would like to ask you is, I found you such a successful person and with so much of insight. At last, what would you want to suggest to all of the participants present here, hearing you? All of them want to be like you, a successful person, a person with a lot of knowledge. What would you like to suggest to me and all of the participants, including our campus director, Jai Kisan Pandyal, and all of the organizing committee present here?
I don't consider myself successful, but I consider myself as someone who wants to improve from where they have been. There's not a problem of if you don't really know the question, say you don't know, but you need to do your research. If you need something, open your mouth. No harm of asking help. Because the thing with this kind of generation is that if they don't really know something and they just keep quiet, and if they keep quiet, you won't know anything. And it's better to set your mind in a positive way, every single note you're going to get is just another step of a yes. That is just an opportunity to grow, and that is what I always say to the youth, especially in this kind of generation itself.
Actually, yeah, what I've found in some of the successful leaders or successful person or like you is, they don't consider themselves as they know everything. Because if we consider ourselves as I know this in front of a leader, if he or she considers himself I know this in front of other members, then you are blocking knowledge. Okay, if you can already consider yourself, I know that, then how are you going to learn further in your life? So that is very important, and this is the thing I have met with some of leaders like you, some of the people who are knowledgeable like you, and this is the thing we are learning from you, and we want to learn further. Thank you so much. And it was an interesting session. I told you, I wish I could have made it for 1 to 2 hours long, but unfortunately, and it is also true that as short as it is, as interesting as it becomes. So it was a short session, but still interesting. And I hope in further future, we will meet again in virtual or in live. I wish to meet you because I've got inspiration. I've got a lot of knowledges from you. Thank you so much. But before you leave, Mr. Jai Kishan Panjiar, Campus Director for Hall Prize at IOE, wants to say something. And I find a lot of similar things about you. He was also a participant before he became a campus director. And he is really doing good, and he keeps talking about Keswan sir. Okay, guys, Keswan sir is watching after everything you have been doing, so please work properly, or he is just too good and says like, okay, Keswan sir now has liked your work, now you have to work this, now you have to do that. And he is like, he was very excited since yesterday, like Keswan sir from this Hall Prize community is about to join us, and you're the first one from the Hall Prize community joining us in our session, and we're totally overwhelmed, and in for the future we'll look forward to inviting you in our upcoming sessions as well. We have wildcard entry in November 28 and our finals in December 5. If it's possible, please join us in our wildcard or in our finals. If you're not able to join us in our wildcard, but make sure you join us in our finale, which is going to take place on December 5. Please, it's a huge request from me and from all of the team members. Keswan sir should join our finals and monitor each and everything happening in our finals. But before you leave, Mr. Jai Kishan Panjiar, Campus Director for Hall Prize at IOE, wants to say something. He wants to share something with you. He wants to interact with you. He's here smiling since the beginning you joined. So hi, Mr. Jai Kishan, would you like to add something and say something to our sir?
Yeah, thank you, Suprema. Okay, Keswan sir, I was so much excited. You said like you will join our event, and I asked for 1 hour. You said you will join for 2 hours. I was like, oh my god, because you guys are really, like inspiration for us. You are role model for us. Like you are leading Asia and your global communication team's top 20 campus director. Actually, I'm just a campus director right now. I can learn so many things. In fact, all the participants, all the organizing committees have lots of things to learn. Like we should have a growth mindset. We need to grow every day. Like, and I found this. Like I'm Hall Prize community. So like because of you guys. I am so like I am loving this Hall Prize community, like, and our participants are also loving, like our session, and the guys, the way you present and share your insights as well. It's really awesome, sir. And the things you told you about presentation, and actually last year we also runner up, and we used same techniques, like keeping the slides short. Less is always the more, like this the things slides we must have these things on the slide, and we should speak more. That's the way we can engage the people, and we should cover all the business things, timelines, and how to engage the audience. We also started in the same we started from a story, from a farmer story, like, and we said what this, and fortunately we are able to like uh, on the finalist of the Hall Prize at I on campus last year. And that is, sir. And thanks again for taking time out of your busy schedule. Like Hall Prize at IU is honored by your presence, and hope to see you in future events as well, sir.
Thanks for having me. No problem. And last message to all of you guys: differentiate humble between your own potential. You're special, but don't be too humble, especially in the social, especially with the social enterprise or anything. Stand out as much as you can, and that is what is going to put you on top. Never. If you have what you, if you know what you can do, show it, and that's about it. I have another meeting to enter in like 5 minutes. So
Sure, sir. Sure. But before you leave, you have a moment of love from Hall Prize at IOH team. Nikhil.
thanks so much. Just forward it to me. It looks nice. Okay, thank you so
Sure, sir.
much.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Take care, sir. Stay safe. Bye bye.
All right, take care. Reach out to me if you need anything. So see you next time. All right.
Thank you so much for being with us, Kate Vansara. Thank you so much and goodbye. Have a good time. And I know you're having great time working for the Hall Prize. I hope that energy transfers in our community as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. I'll catch up with you soon. See ya.
See you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Oh. Okay, so we've ended the session. And lastly, guys, I would like to request all of you to fill the feedback form, which has been provided in the chat box. Don't forget to fill the feedback form as we need to improvise our session for the sessions. Don't miss to fill the feedback form. And lastly, we've almost ended the session. So thank you so much. And I will like to request to the peoples who have not been like selected in semifinals, you can still participate in wildcard and you can get a chance to pitch in the finale. So it's a better chance, and you know what are the like beautiful opportunities you will get participating in Hall Prize at IOE. But besides that, I don't have anything to say because it's already crystal clear that what are the benefits you will get participating in Hall Prize. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to our partners, our sponsor, Platinum sponsor, Nepal Telecom, our silver sponsor, Voclagio, our silver sponsor, Guinness Cloud Academy, our silver sponsor, Pilot Technology. Thank you so much for being with us. And we have, so almost came to an end. Apeksha, I think she wants to say something.
Yeah, best of luck, guys, for the wildcard. Give your best.
Yeah, good luck. We'll be joining you.
Yeah, please, Apeksha, continue.
Someone is asking, okay, yeah, please, yeah.
Okay, I think Apeksha has some technical problem. So, see you guys. Good night. Take care, and please prepare well, because we have provided everything. We have, like competitors toolkit. There is challenge document, slide, how to pitch, startup ideas, and we have also mentorship session from Sunday. It will run for 1 week, from Sunday to Friday, and we have mentors from around the globe. The best mentors, actually, they have really high profile, and hope you like it. So take care, bye, and we are ending this meeting.